Let's see. Oh, Lord.
Look at the pages. She got pages. Oh, shit.
Holy moly. Check out the pages.
It's in a book. It's in a book.
Oh, my God. Woo. I feel like I can't help but say it's about damn time. Right? Like, it's about time. Shit, it's been like 5 years since I published my first book. 5 years later, my second book. Damn. It's been a little minute. My name is Jennifer M. Hunter, and I am the proud self-published author of Inherited Dysfunction, Part 1 and 2. My passion for reading and writing started at a very, very young age. As early as maybe like 3rd grade, maybe even younger. I was so into reading. Like, I loved books. We didn't have an actual bookshelf at home, so my mom used, the milk crates that you carry the milk in. Like, we had a ton of those. Why, I don't know, but she built a bookshelf out of the milk crates and stacked them in our bedroom. I'm one of 4, and me and my 2 sisters shared a room. I was the youngest, and we didn't have much room in there, but she had a corner for me where those books stacked in the corner, and they were filled with all different types of books. I remember some of my favorites was Amelia Bedelia, a lot of cartoons that I watched. I had those books like Rugrats, all of those good things. And I had a library card at a very young age, and like I said, I would go to that library and I would check out so many books, and I would just fill those crates up. And I can remember sitting in our apartment in Rochdale, and I just sat at the kitchen table, and I had I didn't have construction paper. It was like, I had some loose leaf paper there. And being the youngest, my siblings, they were always outside moving about. I didn't really care to go outside too much. I was mostly in the house a lot. And my imagination was wild as a kid. It was wild. And like I said, I had loose leaf paper. I sat at the kitchen table and I just started drawing pictures from the Rugrats. I started drawing Tommy and Chucky, and all of a sudden, like, that drawing turned into a book.
Look at my drawings. Wow.
And I put a few words, like, I just wrote a book about the Rugrats. And I think being home a lot, and again, I'm the youngest, so it's about 4 to 6 years age gap between me and my sisters and my brother. It's about 4 to 7 years age gap, but they were all outside. Like I said, I just wanted to be inside with my dolls, my crayons, my arts and crafts, my kitchen set. Any one of them can tell you, obsessed with playing with my dolls. And I feel like that is where my imagination began to really, really grow. And I know a lot of people are like, really? Listen, it was not a game. I took dolls very serious, and if you did not know how to play, you cannot play with me, okay? Like, I literally would have full on soap opera scenarios with these dolls. I even acted out the Titanic scene. Ask anyone about they'll all tell you about the iconic Titanic scene that took place with my dolls in my freezer. So, you know, I had that type of imagination, and I didn't realize it then, but I realize it now that me acting out these scenarios with my dolls was my outlet. It was my way of getting out emotions and feelings that I would feel it, that I may have felt but couldn't really understand. You know, being the youngest, you see a lot, you hear a lot. Was my family perfect? No. Were we the worst? No. But we certainly had some times where we didn't always get along, and there was a lot of fighting and bickering and arguing. Of course, what family would not experience those type of things? But you know how I dealt with it, I almost said trauma. You know, it's hard for me to even admit that, because for a long time I'm like, I'm not traumatized. I haven't experienced trauma, but I have. And you know, although my trauma may not be as bad as others, it was still happening. As I got older, you know, I started trading in those children's books for urban novels. That changed the game for me. This is not even the full, like, there's a lot of books, I'm not even sure where they are. Like, I had Superhead's book, was it Star Jones? The chick from the radio? Was that, whatever her name was, I had that book. I had so many books that I don't even know where all of them are. Probably got mixed and lost and moving around and stuff, but so the first book I ever came across, I was about, I want to say about 12. And, you know, at that point, my mom was working really, really hard. And again, my siblings in and out the house. I spent a lot of time in the house by myself. So I was, again, sharing a room with my sisters. And, you know, you go through your sisters' things. You're playing dress up in their clothes and you're doing all of this. And I had found this book of my oldest sister, Leah, True to the Game by Terry Woods. I don't know what about it just made me pick that book up and start reading. And baby, when I tell you, True to the Game changed the motherfucking game. Like, I was amazed by what I was reading, because every single word that I read was playing out in my head like a movie. I was like, this shit is dope. Like, this is amazing. Who wrote this? Like, that someone can write the way Terry Woods did and make everything so detailed and visual that you felt like you were watching it. And I'm like, I'm gonna do this shit one day. Like, this shit is inspiring. So, you know, another passion that I have, another thing that I loved to do when I was in the house all the time was watch TV. I'm a TV head. Like, if I wasn't playing with dolls, reading, writing, I was watching TV. Sometimes I'm doing all of it at the same damn time. Honest to God. Like, a lot of my writing process, that TV's on. A good TV show, a good rerun that I love to watch, my Moeshas, the Parkers, the Wayans brothers, Jamie, like, I'm watching all of those reruns, or I'm watching a movie. I grew up, I fell in love with my black cinema. Like, those movies were so mesmerizing to me. And when I read True to the Game, I was like, this is like the movies I watch, but in a book. Like, this shit crazy. Like, it really lit this fire in me. I was obsessed with urban novels, as we call it, hood books back in the day. Like, I wanted to read all of the urban novels. I would go to Jamaica Avenue. You know, they had a little table set up with all the urban books. I had so many, from Hustler's Wife, Push, Mistress, G-Spot. One day I was reading, because, you know, back in the day, we had our magazines, and, you know, there was this subscription in the magazine where you can sign up, and you would get these books in the mail every month if you pay like this subscription. And I was like, Ma, please, can I sign up for this? And once she did that and signed on the dotted line, it was over. Like, I was ordering books nonstop, books constantly coming in the mail, and I was reading all of them. I love this shit. Then I started getting into erotic novels. That really had me like, what? I'm in the back of the classroom, high school, reading Zane, Sex Chronicles, like, whoa, this right here, crazy. Like I said, I love movies so much, and I love books so much. So when I read a book that allows me to envision everything that I'm reading, that's an author to me. Like, you did that shit. Like, that's how you're supposed to write. If I don't see it, it ain't a good book in my head. If you know, you know. Like, you know? Zane Sex Chronicles, baby, had your girl in a chokehold in high school. No pun intended. By the time I was 14, and I done ordered every book I could possibly order and read every book I could possibly read, I was in the house all day. Maybe I was on punishment. I don't know. I didn't get on punishment often. I don't think I ever really got a beating. Because like I said, I was the youngest, and I just saw a lot, and I was like, you know, I knew to stay in my lane. But, you know, I did have me a little boyfriend at that point. But I used to get in trouble like a little bit more often because I was in La La Land with him. So I would be out past my curfew, whatever it was. For some reason, I was in that house all day, and it was the summertime. So I think I was just binge watching like all of my favorite movies. And like I said, it was Holiday Heart, Menace to Society. You know, BET can run them, baby. And back then, like, they were known to run those classic black cinema movies, and I just spent the whole day watching them. And I don't know, like, I just was like, you know what, I'm gonna go and write something. And I sat at the computer. I didn't know if I was typing a movie, typing a book, or just typing to be typing, but I just felt like I need to go sit at this computer and I need to get this out. I'm feeling inspired right now. It was right here in this living room where the idea came to me. I was watching TV, watching BET, and you know BET loved to run up the black movies back in the day. Still do, but back then, it was like back to back, Baby Boy, Boys in the Hood, whatever, Menace Society, all of those movies was coming on, Holiday Heart, back to back. And the computer sat right over here on this wall. And I just sat there one day and I just started writing.